Hello everyone, welcome to what I think is the 19th battle of the Promethean Directive. Today we've got the defense of New Sweden, which is a colony of the Kordic Autonomous Empire. In the defense of that colony we have the Kordic Guard, composed of these planes you see in front of you. Then there's also support from 12 aircraft sent by the Auronean Federation's carrier, the ANS Lloyd G. Harrison. And then up against them are two ships of the Fragmented Pirates of Illum, led by Vice Captain Statos. These are the Auronean aircraft behind us, the Kordic Guard in the middle, and then the defenders of New Sweden right here. A single defense turret, a really funny looking railgun mech, and then a single plane. Some of the fleet color is going to be scuffed, but that's kind of how it is until more people send in their fleet colors to Anemone, who's the one doing this for the faction, or for this campaign. And then here's the two pirate ships. The Ich bin ein Transportschiff. Totally not a pirate craft here. Alrighty, with all that introduction exposition, let's go ahead and set the forces free. I did spawn the defending forces on the player team just to get the fleet colors to work out. But if any of them are sufficiently damaged, I'll just remove those from battle manually. There's already one plane that is on fire, which is a great start to things. This guy here appears to be focusing on the railgun walker, which makes sense, it is the biggest target. We'll see how much it's able to do. Same with the maritime here. This is the biggest aircraft by far. Now, thanks to the arrival of the Auronean Federation's defenses, or their escort planes, this will probably be about an even cost fight, or better for the defenders. Where will this take me? Missile. Not quite what I wanted. Something over here. There we go. This thing's getting swarmed down by planes. Seems like we're going to end up with two separate fights here as this guy gets drawn out to sea by the aircraft, and then that guy keeps firing at the railgun. Mech. Can I find a projectile going the way I want to? One way to find out. It seems like the answer is no. That mech... Nope, it just got a really wide walking animation. I thought for a minute that he lost a leg. And this guy's actually picked a different target, so he's exposing its presumably more vulnerable rear to the railgun mech. Speaking of, let's get a look at this guy. Oh nope, it did lose part of its leg. Oh, and it is very much on fire. That cannot be good for its health. Oh, boiler explosion probably, given how quickly that went out. Gotta be careful about that nowadays. Okay, let's get over to the strategic map, because otherwise it's very hard to see what's going on. This thing is getting swarmed, but there are a lot of planes around it. I just scrapped one that was at 32% health, because it should have been destroyed. Same with this one here. I prefer not to spawn stuff on the player faction because of this, but it's kind of just the way I have to do it if fleet colors are going to be scuffed. And I want stuff to look the way it's supposed to. Okay. Here we can see this guy continuing to swap planes with its pack. Let's see if we can get in frame for one of those. Maybe. I really like the deco work on this guy because those lenses don't actually elevate. It's just the decorational turret that does. And this guy just got, I think, broken in half. Yeah, set completely on fire and then had one of the spin blocks taken out. Because that was definitely going to be under 100%, or under 55% health. This Maritime is flying so aggressively right now. It does not care. Ooh, that is another Strike Eagle taken down. Whoops, there we go. So here we can see, yeah, that guy, 28%. Or that was a Mustachio, actually, not a Strike Eagle. And this guy's also dead. Over here, there's a Strike Eagle in the water. The Iron Fang is at 80% health. Mech's at 95. This Arcona is making pretty good work of the aircraft. That's what it's designed to do, I think. Or at least its pack is very well configured for that. That is another aircraft swatted from the sky. Just totally broken in half. In more than half. That's one of the Mustachios. The Rambot looking faction is the pirates here, and the Avum Empire one for flag is the defenders. Almost ramming that down plane. Not quite. We're about to watch another plane get packed, I suspect. Unless it can manage to escape the firing arc of this pack in time. Almost? Almost? Yes, it escaped. Ooh, one of those missiles almost took out the pack. It might have done some damage to it. Hard to tell. It's at least been broken into. All they have to do is break this tube, and then things get very bad for the pack. The railgun might manage to do it eventually if it's not focusing on the other ship. Or one of the missiles. Ooh. Another plane. Broken in half, lost all of its spin blocks, and set on fire. The Maritime is still doing fairly well. It's got some... Oh, there's torpedoes. Those might be able to do some decent damage, but I suspect they'll struggle to hit this guy. And that Maritime might be the next target of this pack, looks like. If it's not careful, it's probably going to get swatted too. But again, that firing arc's going to save it. Until next time. But that's kind of all but dooming this next plane here. Ooh. Lucky dodge from that pack beam. Let's see how this ship is doing, and then I'll check out another land stuff as well. This guy looks to have had all 3 turrets in some way disabled. That? Okay. Yeah, looks probably been gutted from the backside. Something like that. And the big missile's been taken out too. So this thing's mostly a non-threat anymore, it's just that guy with the pack left. And then over on the land, the defense is still doing full health, and the mech is down to still at 95. This pack also fires in alternating mode, so it'll fire one lens then the other, which basically doubles its fire rate, especially against small stuff. That plane, will it be saved by turret angles again, or will it get taken out? It might also be beefy enough to survive the hit, I'm not sure. That presumably did damage, but I didn't see any. Unless it's taken enough damage to sever some tubes. or enough damage that its sensors are no longer working, so it doesn't know where stuff is actually at. And even these downed planes are able to contribute some, with the nice decorated missiles there. Checking in on the AI menu. We've got, I'll need to scrap this guy. Looks like the maritime, that's the big plane, is down to 92%. Miscellaneous planes are between 86 and 100%. And several of these are downed too, even though they're fairly high health. Guess that's just what happens if they lose an important spin block or something. Someone's run out of range, probably that defensive turret. Could also be the railgun, I'm not sure like what the range on its lesser weapons is. That's the guy that needs scrapped. I'm also less concerned about using the player faction here because it is, it can only benefit the player that's involved here. At the expense of a little bit of performance for the pirates, who are a non-player faction. If this was like a proper nation v nation combat, I definitely wouldn't use player, even if it led to better fleet colors. Just because I don't want to impact like competitiveness. Even though that's not like the primary goal of this project, I know it's important to some people. I don't know what that was firing at. I don't think there's anything over there. Could be a plane in the very far distance, but who knows? I wonder if this Iron Fang's doing anything at all anymore. It's not firing its guns. I think those are just either, I think those are decoys. Maybe firing a missile or two. Yep, those are torpedo decoys. And it might be trying to like fire a missile at this guy or the ground defenses. We'll check in quickly with the mech, which has still got a damaged leg. Guess that's what being on the player faction does to you. Taking some damage to a railgun, missing those boilers still. And these guns here are probably the ones that are running out of range. Let's get back out to that skimmer. I think that's probably the fastest way to move around. It's just teleporting a Rambot. Yeah, this thing's probably definitely taken detection damage now, given that it's not hitting. I don't think anything else would cause it to miss like that. And certainly not miss by that kind of margin. Might still be able to take out a plane or two, though. But it'll be a much slower battle if it has to get lucky to be able to do damage. And saved by the firing limits again, man. And his buddy's safe too. There's the maritime. Looking decently good for health, taking some miscellaneous wing damage. Oh, and lost a turret on the top here too. Probably looks exactly like that guy. Trying to tell if those side missile launchers are still at full size. I think this one's been cut down at least 1 meter. And the front engine's also been damaged. You can see on the left side of the screen there. Probably got pierced straight through by a shell or something. The fleet is now 5 kilometers away from the shore. Actually more than 7 kilometers out. Alright, I'm going to tell you to target this guy, just because you're not going to hit the other one. Yeah, even something else is maxing out for range, and you already know what your target should be. Hard to tell if that guy actually took damage from that shot or not. Probably didn't, or else it would have popped off a lot of blocks. And that pack turret cap is definitely taking a lot of damage, but it still seems to be operational. May not for long, though. Where are you looking at now? Actually, I should just get... Ooh. That probably did some damage. Yes, it did. I think it got some fuel tanks. Maritime, you're flying real low there, buddy. I would not recommend it. Let's check the chat, see how y'all are doing. If there's any other things I can answer. Nothing too much. Kinda just waiting for the planes to slowly deal with this guy. Or it to eventually shoot down all the planes if it gets lucky. I'm gonna guess now the mech is targeting what it should be. This guy won't last much longer. Already down I think 7% since I last checked. And let's see what all planes are still flying. There's the Maritime at decent health, but fairly low. There's... what are these guys? Sea Hogs. I think there's 4 or 5 Sea Hogs still operational, but I think all the Strike Eagles got taken down. Yeah, ooh, that guy's dead. Let's see if I can find him. 9%. So there's 4 Sea Hogs left. 1 Strike Eagle, but it's been taken down. And then I think 1 Mustachio. So decent losses among the aircraft involved in this battle. But they have managed to defend New Sweden, and that's kind of what matters. We'll see if any more of the Sea Hogs will get taken down by the pack. Something just blew up there. I'm not sure what. I'm gonna guess might have been the Iron Fang. Because, yeah, all the Sea Hogs, Strike Eagle, Maritime Mustachio are all still here, so that was probably the whatever that ship is. I didn't even realize this thing's putting off smoke. That's kind of messing with the laser designators. Ooh. Well, scratch 1 Sea Hog. Yikes, that got disintegrated to its component parts. Yeah, I really need to get some particle cannons on my Avum Empire airships because they are so much better anti-aircraft than anything I've ever used. Especially if you set this to fire at a faster rate, it would shred airships, or shred aircraft. And it actually was set to a higher fire rate originally, but I had to nerf it to make sure this battle wouldn't be over super quickly. This Maritime is stubborn. It is like, I am going to be here at low altitude harassing you, and I do not care about anything else. Ooh, that one missed, I think. Let me find that Sea Hog that got smacked earlier and scrap it. Oh, the Calibri is also down for the count. Let's see, has this guy died yet? The Iron Fang, 61. I'll get over there just to see the damage that's being dealt to it. Yeah, this thing's being torn apart from the back. Nothing much gonna be left here. AI is moments away from destruction if those cannons can get their stuff together. And that railgun mech doesn't appear to be meching very well anymore. Last I checked, this thing's supposed to stand up. Probably that leg damage and the terrain finally took it down. It is still stubbornly continuing its walk animation, though. And this lone defense turret's still doing good, too. Okay, we'll check in on this guy again. He'll probably be destroyed within a minute, probably. And then we'll go back out and see what's going on out that way. Come on, you can hit the AI. You can do it. Eventually. Can I find someone? Shift caps lock is not serving me well here. Skimmer is still moving strong. Ooh, and the Maritime is finally out of the air. Did that hit? It did not. Let's see if I can get myself tethered to the pack. I can, I think. I suspect that plane may not survive this next shot, but we'll see. It's awfully close. Yep. There she goes. That's another one of the Sea Hogs dead. Now, I'm not sure what this guy will go after now, if he'll try and target some of the downed aircraft, or if there's any other aircraft still flying. Looks like it's going after the downed ones. Scrap this guy. Don't be embarrassed, Aperture. Planes getting swatted by packs is to be expected. They're not designed to be able to deal with that. There's no way to fit enough armor to be able to survive a pack like this guy, which is fairly well overclocked. Or at least somewhat overclocked. I don't know exactly. Every vehicle has its counters. And for planes, that is hit scan. Down to the defense tower, the railgun walker, the very much damaged Maritime, a couple downed Strike Eagles, and a Mustachio. I wonder how the Mustachio's doing. Is it downed too? Nope, it's flying. Excuse me, let me just hop off of here. I don't mind repairing a little bit, though. They're allowed to have a repair bot or two on something like this. He is far from the battle, though. I wonder if it had lost some kind of steering control until I repaired it. The Iron Fang is about to perish. Just a few more hits from that turret probably will do it in. Be a bit faster if they could manage to finally hit the AI, which they've done more damage to, but still haven't gotten to the mainframe. That's a weird place for the fragments to spawn. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that Heater Hesh was not the best armament for facing it from this direction. Probably would have been the best if you're hitting this thing front on, But from the back, HE would probably be better at just shredding it. Let's... Gonna get any more shots in? Slowly. The Arcona is getting close to probably try and finish off the Maritime. Although the Mustachio's now here to try and provide some relief. All it needs is one lucky missile hit down this hole there, and that pack is in trouble. I think that one missed, so clearly the detection's gotten really bad if it can't even hit point blank. Although now it's after that Mustachio. Another miss. That'll be the question, can the Mustachio damage this thing enough to take out the pack? Or will it get taken out by the pack eventually? Ooh, close. Ooh, but that is the Mustachio gone. Nothing but the cockpit left. Well, at least the pilot's okay, probably. Hopefully these beams don't carry too much ionizing radiation with them. Let me take care of that guy. Now I'm thinking this is about to be destroyed. 55%. That probably made it too damaged, maybe? Still 55. There we go, 2 damaged. So now, presumably once this thing's done wiping the damaged aircraft from the sea, it will be able to finally get taken down by the coastal defenses. So a lot of losses in the air forces due to that pack, but the colony should still be defended. Let me get over here. Maritime's still trying its best. It's got a cannon, it's still firing. But not so much you can do when you're in the water like this. If this thing still had those missiles, it'd probably be another story. But that lone APS isn't going to be able to do much. So yeah, there's 2 Strike Eagles in the water. That thing's probably out of range. Certainly out of accurate range. Might be able to hit one of these days. But probably not at the speed this guy's moving. Not at this range. Because we are 6 kilometers out, goodness. I don't think I have any way of actually making this guy target. No, I don't have any way of making him target the defense building. I might just pull these 3 craft out of play and let this guy just attack the defenses. Because logically speaking, this guy at this point should go after the city and not a few random downed aircraft. So I'll go ahead and get my camera over that way, and we can wait for him to get over here. That pack is still remarkably accurate even at this range. Pick the mech up. Let's see. I can do that. Although it's lost both feet, so I'm not sure it'll be able to stand. Actually, let's see, that guy is at 92%. Shh, no one saw that. Damage. I think this barrel was broken too. He will get here eventually. This is why I kind of want to do more battles where the players have tactical control, because then you won't get silly stuff like going out to sea, and you'll actually get to have more interesting stuff. Hope this thing isn't set to stay at this range. It may just be only approaching slowly. Yeah, it's trying to keep an angle of some sort. Well, it is at least now within gun range. That's a very good question. How will I do setup in multiplayer? The answer is with a little bit of difficulty. The two sides need to just spawn their stuff in and then turn the movement AI off. And then we'll have to quickly run down the line, and combat AI too. Have to quickly run down the line to turn everything on at the same time once we hit the go. It'll be harder for planes. We may need to use like spawn sticks for planes and put those in at the very end. Or use like caps lock to hold them up in the air. Because caps lock is a toggle in multiplayer. So you can just use caps lock to hold stuff in the air. But yeah, those are the options we'll have to use for if we do setup in multi. If you want to build a breadboard like that, you can. It would probably be prohibitively difficult to actually use, just because you got to add that on every single vehicle. And it can kind of mess up their stats, like max speed if I want to sample that in a battle. But could be useful. Is that mech in the water now? Yes. Yes, it is. And it fell over. It's kind of getting there. Can I turn the movement off so it'll just sit here? I guess it needs to get facing it, so I'll need to leave that on. The Arcona is slowly taking damage. Can I land on it? Yes. Oh. I did not guess that that would be non-solid, but I guess it makes sense. That's probably hiding hydrofoils. And those probably got damage in battle. Or it's just aesthetic only. This thing's pack is actually probably disabled. Nope, never mind. Call me a liar. I may just end up calling the battle here, because eventually I assume the coastal defenses can take this guy out. It's got very bad detection and fairly low health. That maybe hit though. Still got propulsion. No worries. I'm not surprised that... I mean, there's going to be a lot of teething issues with getting stuff set up for this kind of campaign. And if that's a couple mechs walking into the water, then that's not too bad. This thing's finally at a pretty close range. Let's set this guy back up. And you know what? I can actually warp you to the land. Might do a little bit better. Potentially. I guess that is a good thing about having one side on the player faction. It means I can fix stuff like that. Can I get your railguns on target? There you go. Anything to finally actually have some DPS on this guy. You see, this is why I always build my airships with a lot of gun and not much armor, because too much armor just makes fights boring, or too much evasion. Just a whole lot of sitting here watching both sides slowly flail at each other. Yeah, this battle's definitely gone on longer than I would like. As far as armor, this thing's got heavy armor slopes along its core here. I think it's just one thick for heavy armor slopes, though. Yeah, just no more than half a meter of heavy armor. Or, yeah, half a meter of heavy armor, 2 or 3 of alloy. So, I mean, some armor, but not a tremendous amount. And it might, probably about the same here on this pack. Looks like 3 of alloy, heavy armor, another 1 of alloy. And mech is in the water again. Yeah, at this point the battle's... I mean, it's going to end with the defenders winning. Like, that pack can't even hit a stationary defense turret. And these guys are doing damage even if slowly. So we are going to call it a win for the defenders. 3 of the aircraft crashed into the water but survived with damage, that being the 2 Strike Eagles and the Maritime. They're all at about 80%. 84, 78, and 78, so we'll call them all 80%. And then both of the pirate ships were destroyed, and most of the city defenses survived as well. So, with that all said, let's turn it into a reality. And, bada bing, bada boom. Pirates defeated. Okie dokie. Thank you all for watching today's episode of Fights in the Promethean Directive. And we'll get back to you soon with some more. Have a good one. As soon as I can get to OBS. There we go.